Theoretical experiment. The motor to dynamo, there is a mechanical connection. In my practical experiment, I took DC motor which looked like this, which work with this principle. The motor and dynamo mechanical connection. The connection will be look like this picture. More practically, the output current from the dynamo must be sent in such a way that it gives more current from the magnetic field in less rotations. The diode is used to stop backward current flow, that is, current should only flow from the dynamo to ultracapacitors. Ultracapacitor circuits. Ultracapacitors are the components whose capacity is more than 1 farad. The shown ultracapacitor of 2600 farad is 2.5 volts. The maximum energy is 8.125 kilojoules, which is mass. Below is the formula for selecting right capacitor for preferred circuit. It is explained in documentary. 57 on the page. Ideal capacitance required formula. Supercapacitors, double layer capacitors, pseudo-capacitors and hybrid capacitors. We can use hybrid capacitors. Variable resistor, which is used to control the current discharge. It is used to control the rate of discharge from ultracapacitors. Now I get 6.68 volts towards the DC-DC converter circuit. The DC-DC converter can step up the voltage up to 15 volts. S3 is a controller switch, D2 is a diode used, R2 is a variable resistor or speed controller. Speed controller circuit which we may use instead of R2. S1 is a switch of starter, D3 is a diode, which means current should not flow from DC-DC converter to the starter or charger. Starter. It is a component which first starts the machine, means it charges the ultracapacitors. When ultracapacitors are fully charged, we may switch off it. The starter must be like a machine which could convert even less intensity of light energy to electrical energy. It is a kind of solar panels which is possible by use of photomagnetic effect. When we start to stimulate the circuit, close the S1 switch, close the S2 switch when capacitors are fully charged, close S3 switch, and at last open the S1 switch. At this state the circuit will work to infinity time. Equations: motor wattage minus dynamo wattage by current supplied to the motor is equals to voltage. Let's take it as V1. Output of converter minus input of converter is always more than the voltage. Input resistance times capacitance is less than output resistance times the capacitance. Means RC while charging the capacitance is less than RC while discharging the capacitor. It implies that charging takes less time, discharging takes more time. Thank you.